Thank you. Yes, I think that we need to make our decision makers being alarmed, but us who are already aware of all of this are not helped by being in panic. So I think it's really important that we try to focus on the alternatives. And this is also how we need to communicate to everybody. Because if we only talk about the things that we talked about in the beginning of this hour, everybody just despairs. But if we talk about what can you do, and not as an individual or as a consumer, but what can you do collectively with others? Whatever you want to do it together with others. And then we can start changing the norms, which we need to do because we don't see our politicians acting fast enough. So I think talking about collective action, collective engagement in any way. I mean, I'm an activist too, but you don't have to be an activist. You just need to do things collectively with others, whatever you do. Talking about alternatives of how to act, but also about there are ways to act. We still have time to act, and we're not destroying the world. We're destroying the civilization, which might be a difference for some people, maybe not for others. but we need to find some kind of peacefulness or meaningfulness in this to be able to act in a way that will get others engaged. And we need many to be engaged. Thank you.
I do agree with what the previous speaker said. I think we need to we need to focus on we need to communicate first of all how alarming the situation is, but I think that's being communicated quite well right now. So I think and I do think we definitely need to shift from what the individual can do to present more concrete and pragmatic program for what governments should do within the coming few years. I think that's I think the social movement, the climate movement, that's my argument. It needs to move away from just talking about listen to the scientists, to show that we have a program. We need to do this in a couple of areas, because I think we need to be more action oriented. And I think that's what I think what's one of the problems right now is that we have of course people are getting more concerned, but also more desperate in the sense that we are the general public are not really aware of what they can do. And I think also we are, I'm very concerned that the issue of climate change is becoming more politically polarized. We need to see that we can get out of that polarization, because that would be very harmful for, and that is very harmful. And I also think that if we look at Sweden, we are in a fairly sort of constructive situation in comparing to other countries like the US. We need to see if in these countries like the US, how we can get away from, I think just talking about climate change seems to be, I think what could possibly solve some of the knots there is to show that there are incentives to move change along away on say renewable energy, which could be connected to other spheres of society. This is this is my general thinking. I was sort of unprepared for the question, but that's. But I think that's basically, and also I need to connect that to other social movements in the past. I think what's made other social movements in the past effective and successful is that they've actually formulated very concrete demands and what kind of change they asked for. And so I think we need to just move on from just saying we need to get emissions down to say in transportation, we demand this and this. When it comes to agriculture, we need to do this and this kind of shift. We need to be very, I mean, we need to be radical, but we also need to be very concrete. And I think this communication between the movement and scientists when it comes to action, I think that kind of conversation needs to start.